Megums.
Yeah, please come in.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Please be seated.
Thanks.
So, Aditya Kumar.
Yes.
Okay, fine. You are from Bihar and you have opted for history as your optional subject.
Yes.
Okay. Normally, it is said that rise of Magad in ancient India was largely due to its strategic factor. How far do you agree?
It definitely was a prime factor, sir. But the other factors too played its role. Strategic location of the Magda provided it with economic resources as well as the strategic defense from the other kingdoms. As well as it was at the heart of Ganga Valley, so it gave wild elephants from the dense forests, sir. So it also strengthened its army. And other factors like it was outside of Brahmavarta, so the caste hierarchy were not well developed during that point of time in that area. That also strengthened them. And rise of Buddhism and Jainism in that area provided strength to that.
Okay. You are talking about rise of Buddhism and Jainism. Why these heterodox religions took place only in the region of Bihar in ancient India?
It is in today's time, the focus has been shifted from seeing Jainism and Buddhism as a risen as a conflict between Vedic religion and in opposition of that. But now it is being said that as it has risen outside the Brahmavat, so it was result of the queries of the people as well as their experiences. The search for the spiritual answers led to the rise of Buddhism and Jainism, and some place or some factors from the Vedic religion also played its roles.
Don't you think that economic prosperity that prevailed in Bihar was one of the major factors for the rise of philosophical thinking?
That was also definitely one of the factors.
Okay. Do you think that time has come to rewrite the entire Indian history?
In my view, as a history student, I don't think rewriting the entire history is required, sir. But some inclusions can be done, and that will give a sense of completeness to Indian history. Because for the last period of time, as of now also, the history has been written from the ruler's point of view, and it mainly focuses on the power center of power. In the ancient time to Patliputra, in the medieval time to Delhi. So the inclusion of regional kingdoms as well as regional cultures is definitely needed.
Okay, Aditya, you are talking about inclusion of someone in history. Suppose you are given a chance to rewrite Indian history. Which two personalities you would like to exclude from the textbooks of Indian history?
In my view, I do not think exclusion is required. Rather, the true representation of anyone that can be done, sir. Rather than going for entire exclusion. Anything, whether right or wrong, we must read it and learn from it, sir.
Tell me two major personalities that you would like to include which are not there in history books till now.
Even though they are there, but it's just a passing remark. For example, I would focus on the expedition of Lalitaditya Muktapida of Kashmir, sir. He led expedition to Afghanistan, Tibet as well as Central Asia. But he do not find any mention in NCERT textbook as well as in the UG course. There is hardly any mention of Lalitaditya Muktapida, sir. Okay. And the second person would be Malik Amber from the Deccan. He laid the foundation of administration as well as the economic trade. And he was from outside India, but he do not find much mentioning.
But Malik Ambar has been decently treated in history books. He has been written about.
Not included in the mainstream history, sir.
Okay, tell me one thing. Two decisive battles of Indian history that proved to be turning point.
It is quite hard, sir, because during the medieval time, it was 1526, First Battle of Panipat. And then the next is 1757, Battle of Plassey, but it can hardly be called as a battle, sir.
I am asking you about a decisive battle.
Yes, sir. I think this is true.
What is your opinion about the impact of Kaling War on Indian history?
Uh, the Kalinga War, when we look at it in isolation, it appears that it was a major event. But Kalinga has been coming in and out of Magadha Empire many times during the history, sir. It was part of the Nanda Empire before Mauryas. And when the Mauryas took over Nanda, the Kalinga declared independence, sir. So, in that sense, it does not have a much of significance. But the way it changed the outlook of King Ashoka, in that way, it has a very huge impact, sir.
Okay, thank you. Over to you, sir.
Aditya, have you read the Janhit Abhiyan judgment regarding EWS reservation?
Yes, sir. I think it upheld the.
So what was the issue there and what did Supreme Court say?
The issue, as much as I can recall, sir, it was about the can reservation be granted based on the economic criteria, and second thing was whether it should be applied to all the SC, ST and OBC presents. So the judgment was if the study is based on if the reservation is based on the backed by data, so it can be granted based on the economic criteria, and it need not be applied equally to all.
So do you think EWS, since it's an economic reservation, it should be given to SCs, STs also?
Sir, because it primarily focus on the people who are not part of the reservation system already. So it.
But they are getting reservation under different category, not economic.
Yes.
That is the additional criteria of social backwardness under which they are getting.
So that reservation for SC, ST, that includes social and economic backwardness both, sir. Both the factors are considered over there, even though the social factor is more dominant, but economic.
So how is economic backwardness considered for SCs, STs?
It is not talked about. For example, the Supreme Court has recently talked about categorization within the SC, ST category, sir.
Is there any creamy layer for SC, STs?
As of now, it is not, but Supreme
Do
Court.
you think it should be there?
In my view, we can move towards that by building consensus on that. Sir.
Okay. Do you think cities should be renamed?
It is, in my view, it can't be yes or no answer, sir, because things are multifaceted here. There are few places which reminds of the invasion or the invaders. For example, the place in Bihar named as Bakhtiarpur district, that is named after Bakhtiyar Khilji, who literally burned Nalanda as well as the monks over there. So we do not have any reason to celebrate that person in today's era. So those kind of places can be renamed, but it should not be applied uniformly to all the people or to target a particular religion or community.
So recently there's a debate going around Aurangzeb also. What is your take on that? How do you assess him as a student of history?
As a student of history, I see Aurangzeb as the ruler who almost destroyed the Mughal legacy, sir, because the rulers before him understood India very well and tried to incorporate the diversity of India in their rulings, especially Akbar as well as Jahangir and Shah Jahan, sir. But the Aurangzeb could not continue that legacy, and that has led to the today's controversies as well as marring of Mughals' legacies.
Okay. So there's an ongoing Raisina dialogue.
Yes.
What is that?
It was started by India on the lines of like mini security conference, where the people as well as the people come from all over the world, government as well as the non-government, and deliberate on world issues.
Okay, my last question. What is that one thing that you are generally misunderstood for?
My voice, it comes out as harsh.
It comes out as a?
Harsh voice.
But you're not?
I am not, sir.
Okay, thank you.
So Aditya, you belong to?
Ma'am?
Which area do you belong to?
Patna, Bihar.
Patna, Bihar. So
Yes.
what's your perception about your area?
It is definitely good, ma'am. I know that my area is lacking behind on many things, but we are working on it, ma'am.
Okay, so can you mention two challenges which are faced by Bihar right now?
First thing is about the economic productivity, ma'am.
Okay.
Second thing is about the skilling as well as the education of people.
Okay, and if you have to provide two solutions for each, what will those be?
For the economic productivity, the first solution will be to shifting of disguised unemployment from agriculture to the other sectors, ma'am, because Bihar's agriculture contribute 24% to state GDP, but employs more than 70% of the population. So that definitely need to be done, ma'am. And second thing would be to focus on gaining investment from outside, because investing in high tech is required for Bihar to become a model for the attracting investing from others. Bihar government has uh, cornered 100 acre of land in Rajgir as trying to develop it as a IT city, that is in pipeline. And for the education, I believe we need to bring back the ecosystem of education which was prevailing in Bihar. Literally 40 years back, Patna University was the hub for the whole East India, eastern part of India, where people used to come and study. But that lagged behind after the Sampurna Kranti event, and it has not picked up again. So I would like to work in that.
Okay, so you mentioned about economic productivity. Can
Yes.
you define the term productivity?
Uh, Productivity, it takes into account the uh, total output from the input which we have invested, ma'am, as well as the efficiency of it.
Okay. Okay, so you have read NEP 2020. You must be knowing about it.
Yes, ma'am.
So, what do you think is missing in the same?
Sorry, ma'am, I could not come up with
It's
it.
okay. You heard the union budget.
Yes, ma'am.
So, what was your key takeaway from that?
It shows that the government is focusing on fiscal consolidation, ma'am, first thing. And second thing is that it has calibrated its policy. Initially, it tried to encourage the private investment through giving tax off to corporates, but that did not work out very well. So this time, government has given the tax rebates to the middle class, ma'am, by raising the slab. And third thing is that the capital expenditure has is still picked up, and government has invested in that, ma'am. So these are the three main
Okay,
takeaways.
so can you define the term capital expenditure and fiscal consolidation?
Fiscal consolidation basically refers to the uh, decreasing the fiscal deficit, ma'am, uh, as well as raising the revenue through the taxation or the other methods. And capital expenditure refers to the investment in assets which can create future assets, ma'am. Investment in the areas which can create future assets or bring down the liabilities of the government.
Okay, so yesterday it was in news that Trump has done something to the education department. What is that?
He has literally downsized the entire education department, ma'am, and he has said that the powers will be dissolved to diverted to the local as well as the state governments.
So,
over
what
there.
will be the implication?
As far as now, it is being said that the Trump has also made that uh, the education department's core functions will be preserved and rest others will be disbanded. So I think the focus of education will shift to the state as well as the local governments as he has envisaged. So that will give more flexibility to the local government.
Will there be any loss of jobs?
Definitely.
Okay, so what is the most pressing issue in international trade nowadays?
Tariffs.
Tariffs. Okay, can you elaborate more on that?
As the US is one of the largest market, ma'am, and the recent President Trump has called for reciprocal tariffs on his partner countries. So that will recalibrate the entire international trade, because countries are looking for either to negotiate with Mr. Trump or to try to leverage or the start a trade war, as it was seen in the response of China.
Okay, so tell me, Something about, do you know, have you studied economics?
Yes.
Okay, so do you know what's elasticity?
Yeah.
Elasticity of demand?
I have certain idea, but not entirely sure.
Okay, just give me the idea.
Elasticity refers to the maneuvering space.
Okay, go on.
The response of job creation. Something I'm not sure.
Okay, never mind. So tell me, there's something mentioned about your achievements in your application form. So can you tell me something about what have you achieved in sports and
In sports, I was best sportsman of my school, ma'am. It was adjudged based on my performance during the 7 years of my school. So I was good in football, running, as well as sprinting, ma'am. And then I was judged as best all-rounder for those 7 years, and that was based on the academic discipline, NCC, co-curricular, as well as a sportsman.
Okay, thank you.
Aditya,
Yes, ma'am.
what is the date today?
22nd March, Bihar's Day, ma'am. Bihar Divas.
Why is it important to have Bihar Divas?
It reminds us that the Bihar, as a separate state, was created at that point of time.
But is it necessary for a state to have its own day?
It provides an occasion to celebrate the legacy of Bihar as well as brings people together, ma'am.
Is it justified in the context of present time, wherein Bihar is lagging behind in so many aspects, to have its own day? Isn't it ironical?
I do not think, ma'am, even though we are lagging behind, it does not mean we can't celebrate things, because everything need to go simultaneously rather than just focusing on.
So, if I were to talk about IMR, MMR, sex ratio, women empowerment, safety issues, you tell me one thing in which Bihar has excelled.
Bihar is excelled in women empowerment, ma'am. Bihar has around 10 lakh SHGs, which are led by women, which have around 2 crore of membership, and it has the highest number of SHG in country, ma'am.
Okay. When it comes to corruption and when it comes to the ethics of people who come at a leadership role in Bihar, that is also compromised.
That is based upon the legacy issues, ma'am. Because after 1991, we had certain perception was created with the respect of Bihar, ma'am. And that has continued even though the conditions on the ground have definitely been better than what it was before, ma'am.
Aditya, if I were to ask you about these hobbies of yours, reading mythological fictions, what would you say? Which are these fictions, mythological fictions that you enjoy reading?
I enjoyed reading books by Ashwin Singh, ma'am, Krishna ki Chanakya's Chant, as well as Rick Riordan's books on Greek and Roman mythology, ma'am.
You think Mahabharata is a mythology?
As an epic, it definitely has is mythology, but based on the as an event, it may be a part of history, but not at proven completely.
Since you are a history honors student, how would you define mythology?
Mythology are the stories based on the belief of people, and it may contain certain truth about the social as well as economic conditions of during that time, so, ma'am. And in future, based on the evidences, it may also be turned out to be history.
So, mythological fiction, isn't it a paradoxical term?
No, ma'am. These are new genre of writing which draws upon the mythology, ma'am. There are two branches of it. One which try to retell the myth, for example, the Amish Tripathi Shiva trilogy. And second thing is which draws upon the mythical symbolism to extend it into present context. For example, Rick Riordan's or Ashwin Singh's book.
If I were to ask you to tell me one mythological figure from Indian context who has inspired you the most, whom would you quote?
I would say Karna, ma'am,
Why?
from Mahabharata. Because despite facing many odds and not many people there to support him, he excelled in things, even though he made some wrong choices. But he was also known for the things which he did for his charity, as well as staying true to his words.
Okay. You also have mentioned about cooking. It's a very rare quality in a patriarchal setup for a male to enjoy cooking. Don't you think so?
In speaking in general, it may happen, ma'am, but now the things have been moving even in Indian society. Now people are taking up cooking even as a hobby, and I took it as because I was not able to enjoy the cuisines here in Delhi when I moved to Delhi. So first it started as a essentiality, and then I inculcated interest in that.
My last question to you, Aditya. In a country like India, where women have started to step out to work, is it essential to have gender neutral practices also? Because caring, nurturing, and cooking don't fall in the purview of male domain. So let's say 10 or 20 years from now, how do you see such practices which are biased towards one gender taking place in a larger framework?
I strongly believe that need to undergo change, ma'am, depending upon the changing socio-economic condition. The male members have a responsibility, moral as well as the practical responsibility, to share the burden of care, ma'am. We must recognize the efforts as well as the contribution by the women.
If I were to ask you to choose between patriarchy, matriarchy, what would you choose?
Both have certain biases, ma'am.
If I have to ask you to choose between the one.
If I have to choose, I don't know how the matriarchy system works, ma'am. So I would rather choose patriarchy if I have to choose.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Aditya, you wear the blazer from Sainik school, Kodagu. So, how many Sainik schools in India?
At present, there are 33, sir.
33 or
but
34?
33, sir. I may be wrong, sir.
Who is the recent one?
Not aware, sir.
And when this school was created, your school?
2007, sir.
2007. So, in Bihar, there are various Sainik schools also?
Yes.
Like which?
Nalanda and Gopalganj.
Gopalpur. Okay. What is the difference between Sainik school and Rashtriya military school?
Rashtriya military schools are few in number, sir. I think 4 to 5. Even though both have the already almost same objective, but the military school starts with the class 9th and they go on to 12th, sir. So that is the fundamental difference.
And who control all these military schools?
Military schools.
Or these Sainik schools?
Sainik school comes under Sainik School Society, which is chaired by Honorable Defence Minister, sir. And for the military school, I am not aware, sir.
That's okay. So you spent too much time in Kodagu.
Yes.
So which river originates from Kodagu?
Kaveri River.
Kaveri River. And what is the location from where?
Tal Kaveri in
Tal
Madhya Pradesh.
Kaveri. Yes. Okay. Do you know something about INS Kadamba?
Details I am not aware, sir.
Okay. Project Seaward?
No, sir.
You don't know Project Seaward? Because you lived very near to that place.
I am not. I will read on this.
Okay. Karwar, you know Karwar?
Yes, sir.
What is that?
It is the largest navy base in India, and it can become the center for the new theatre command for the Indian Navy, sir.
Okay. It is also called as Project Seaward. Okay. And INS Kadamba is inside that.
I was not aware, sir. Thank
Okay.
you, sir.
Okay. That's okay. That's okay. You also love cooking. So what do you cook?
I cook few North Indian as well as South Indian dishes, sir. Mainly sattu paratha, pitta. I can make samosa too, jalebi, then upma, avlaki, as well as sambar, rice, these kind of things.
Recently, one superfood has been introduced by Bihar government.
Yes.
Or it is marketing something. What is that?
Makhana, sir.
Makhana. Why makhana is called as superfood?
It has a low glycemic index, sir, and it has also antioxidant properties, and it is rich in protein as well as have very low calories count, sir. So these properties make it superfood, sir.
Okay, very good. So, what is the state GDP of Bihar?
It is 9.72 lakh crores.
9 to, and recently budget has also been
Yes.
introduced. What are the major objectives or major features of that one?
The budget focused upon the basic issues like education. For that, it provided for 60,000 crore, and it aims to establish a degree college in every district, sir. Second thing was major allocation was made to health, and cancer hospital will be built in Begusarai, sir, and primary health facilities will be strengthened. And third thing was to focused on women. It talked about running pink buses as well as pink police station in every district.
Okay, okay. My last question to you: what are twin deficit?
It twin deficit has
Fiscal deficit
yes.
and current account deficit. What is current account deficit?
Current account deficit refers to the trade deficit as well as deficit in visuals during that point during a year. Sir.
Okay, thank you.
So, Adit, one last question as a student of history. How many Vikramadits are there in history?
3 major ones are there, sir. One is Vikramaditya of Ujjain. Second was Chandragupta II, who was also known as Vikramaditya of Gupta period, sir. These two I would.
Why this title is so fashionable in Indian history?
Exact reason I am not aware, sir.
Okay. Okay, Adit, your interview is over. We'll just call you after a few minutes.
Yes.
Yes, Adit. Please take
Thank
your
you.
seat. What is your own assessment about your performance today?
I missed out on few questions, sir, and also my mouth was dry, so I was fumbling too much.
Okay. You have appeared in UPSC interview earlier as
Yes.
well. What was your score there?
Sir, last year it was 205. Sir.
205.
Yes.
Okay. Then where did you lack basically? You should have been
Written
there in the list.
Optional and SS.
Optional and essay. How did you perform this time in optional essay?
Let's see. I'm not sure.
Okay. See, the panel feels that you are a good candidate, no doubt, clear. And but you need to be more aware about current affairs, like new education policy and all. You need to be more aware about it because these are some issues which a student must know. Then I would say that some stand can be taken on issues. You must not go to the extreme, but being decisive is also very important as an administrator. So, if last time the ma'am asked you about the society, so ultimately you had to take a stand. But you can take a stand, there's no harm. But it should have a very balanced and logical argument for that. Don't go to the extreme because the board feels that you are trying to play too safe in the interview.
No, sir, because patriarchy or matriarchy, if we replace men with women, the society will remain almost same. If the changes are not based on equal footing. Sir.
But you said you don't know about
But,
matriarchy.
I don't know about how the matriarchy system will work out or how it works. So
You have to read about it. You can't say you don't know about matriarchy. I mean, that's not the answer you're supposed to say.
it basically have many.
You can
few
say,
examples.
you can modify your answer.
Ah.
Sir, I will read about matriarchy. Rather than saying, I don't know
I don't know.
matriarchy, ki, sir, I will read more about matriarchy. That will be, more
Yes.
moderated.
But otherwise, you are good. You are going to wear the same dress for
No,
interview?
sir.
You have separate suit for that? Okay, fine. So, your interview is on
27th.
27th. Fine. So, brush up the current affairs. Otherwise, you are good. You are a potential candidate. You should have been in the list earlier only, but maybe because of optional. Clear. But interview is not an issue for you. Clear?
Yes.
All the best.
All the best.
All the best.
All the
You
best.
want to ask something from us?
Yes.
Okay. All the best.
Thank you.